There's a lot of airspace to cover for Milroe. Corner. It's caught! Touchdown, Alabama! On a 4th and a mile! 31 yards!
Alabama, I was born, Alabama, where I'm from. Don't throw your hands up, put up your aim. I ain't talking about Atlanta, I'm talking about the hill. I'm talking about the deal. A-L-A-B-A-M-A, this where I live. Alabama, I was born, Alabama, where I'm from. We've been waiting.
I am really upset. I recorded Tidal Wave Talk on StreamYard. I put the work in, did the effort. Turns out, all that work for what? Nothing. So here I am redoing Tidal Wave Talk. You saw the intro and all that. Let's make this one quick. I don't have time to, hold my phone for 15 minutes. But I'll just go ahead and get into like predictions and everything about this game. It's Alabama, it's Missouri, it's I believe homecoming for the Crimson Tide. October 26th. Gonna be a good game. I'm nervous about it. Missouri's a really good team. But Vegas and ESPN Bet have Alabama, a 16.5 point favorite. I do think that they cover the spread. We'll get into the score prediction in a little bit. But I look at this game, and of course, by the way, coming off the Tennessee loss, upset in Knoxville last week, it happens. It's a rivalry game. Alabama now with 2 losses on the year, and, they can't afford another one if they still want to make the playoff. I know people want to write them off for that, and I do too. But the reality is a 10-2 SEC team is probably going to get one of those spots. And if it's Alabama sitting there with losses to Vandy and Georgia, or Tennessee, oh God, what have I done? Georgia? Did we lose to Georgia? No, I don't think we did. No. Gosh, Vandy and Tennessee. Might as well never visit that state again. But, I'll say this. Alabama's still alive. The only thing is they are not intact for a SEC title spot. I think you could go ahead and clear that up real quick. They're not making the SEC title with a 2-2 record right now in conference play. They need chaos. They need Georgia to lose another SEC game. They'd have the head-to-head there. They need Texas to drop some games. Texas plays Vandy this week at Vandy. Oh, man. A rut-row. That could be a trip. Vandy's good. Vandy's really good. Looking at this Missouri game, though, Bama needs chaos. We'll say that. Looking at this Missouri game, Missouri 6-1. Ranked lower than Alabama, though, who's at 5-2. Mizzou is 2-1 in conference play. Alabama's 2-2. The spread now 17.5. It was 16 points last time I checked. Alabama has an 82.7% chance to win. Both these teams were in the top 10 at one point. Now they're both sitting there outside the top 10. Mizzou's top 25, Alabama right there at 15, top 15 team. So it's not a top 15 matchup necessarily, but it is, at the very least, it's like top 20, top 25 right there. I like Missouri in this game to give Alabama some fits. I do, because they're good. I do think Cook is a good quarterback. I do. Brady Cook. I like Jalen Milroe. But Brady Cook does his own thing, and that's pretty cool. Let's look at Missouri first. Nate Noel is really good. He's got, 85 carries, 503 yards, 2 touchdowns. Compare that to Jam Miller of Alabama, 63 carries, 402 yards and 5 rushing touchdowns. That's pretty good. It's not really close. No trash talk in this one. I love Missouri. I know some Missouri fans, and they're loyal, they're faithful, and they're really, really sweet. They're awesome. But, Alabama, I think, has the better offense in this game. But at the same time, I think there's things that Missouri does offensively that you could look at and say, they do this pretty good. They do this really well. They could give Alabama some fits. I think Alabama's weakness is in the secondary, not based on talent, just based solely on the fact that, how do I want to put this? It's just that chemistry, that team bonding, that team chemistry. Now, they could get along off the field, but when they're on the field, it's like miscommunication and everything. And I just don't know. I know Alabama's going to win this game, but, I don't know that Alabama's going to win this game. That's the thing. Missouri and Alabama are almost in the same boat with this. In the sense that they got team issues and they're coming off I don't know. I mean, Mizzou's one loss is a blowout against Texas A&M, and Texas A&M looks pretty good. Missouri beat Vandy in 2 overtimes. Alabama lost to Vandy. These teams are not of the same world right now. Alabama has yet to play Auburn. Missouri beat Auburn. So is everybody else. But I don't really know how to break this game down other than Alabama should win this game. This is supposedly the homecoming game this year. You can't lose to Missouri on homecoming. You just can't. But at the same time, you could. In terms of it could happen, but it shouldn't happen. Alabama's undefeated at home. Their 2 losses are both on the road, at Vandy, at Tennessee. Both in the SEC. They're not playing. All they're playing for in this game is to keep their home, streak alive. Right now, they have not lost a home game since last year to Texas in week 2. So, that was rough. Texas is good, though. Other than that, Luther Burden's really, really good for Missouri. I like the OEs. I like Cook at quarterback. But I feel like the more talented roster and talented offense is at Alabama, obviously. Look, Alabama should win this game outright. The only way they lose or play it close, and Missouri is a good team. I'm not taking anything away from them. But I think the only way that Alabama plays it close at home, if it were on the road, it's a SEC environment, different story, right? But at home, come on, man. You have to get in your own way. I don't think that's going to happen. I really think that even with a new coach for Alabama, I think they could cover that 16 points, 17, whatever it is. I'm going to go with the score prediction here of 42-20. Alabama over Missouri. Their defense is not going to play the best. But I think the offense could light it up. They could light it up. They really could. This is a big game. This is a really tough challenge. And it's always fun when these teams get together. They played 10 years ago in the SEC title, and they played to open up the COVID year in 2020, which was the last time they played, I believe. And Alabama won outright, but that was different, right? That was at Missouri. Missouri was not the team of what they are now, and we know what Alabama was able to do in 2020. This is 2024. This is 4 years later. There was an off season. You had time to prepare for games like this. They didn't just throw you an all SEC schedule. You knew this game was coming up. You got to play to your standard. You got to play to your best, Alabama. You just have to. So, anyway, 42-20 is my score prediction. They win by 22 points, only because it's at home. I don't really trust Missouri's defense too much. And I think you're dealing with a mad Alabama team. When they come off a loss, they bounce back. And they bounce back in a big way. Now, they didn't against South Carolina at home, but I don't know. I have that gut feeling this could be one of those games. They got to have another blowout, right? They got to have that one SEC game that's a blowout. And that could come in the Iron Bowl. That could be down the road. I mean, maybe in Norman. Well, no, not on the road. Not on the road. Sorry. It might be the Iron Bowl this year, which I'm going to, by the way. But y'all let me know what you guys think. 42-20, Alabama over Missouri this Saturday. Love y'all. God bless. Jesus loves you too.
There's a lot of airspace to cover for Milroe. Corner. It's caught! Touchdown, Alabama! On a 4th and a mile! 31 yards!
Alabama, I was born.